Right, second colligative property, elevation in boiling point. So this is also completed. Next we need to start depression in freezing point. Okay, so before going depression in freezing point, let me remind you once again what are the important things in elevation in boiling point. Tell me, so what is the boiling point? First definition of boiling point: the temperature at which vapor pressure of liquid is equals to atmospheric pressure is called boiling point. So therefore, for example, the boiling point of water is 100 degrees Celsius. What is the meaning of 100 degrees Celsius? At 100 degrees Celsius, the vapor pressure of water is equals to 1 atmospheric pressure. So therefore, remember, boiling point is always directly proportional to atmospheric pressure. If the atmospheric pressure increases, boiling point is increases. So already we have written. Next, boiling point is inversely proportional to vapor pressure. So there are two liquids like liquid 1, liquid 2, AB. There are two liquid. So the vapor pressure of liquid A is 600 mm of mercury. The vapor pressure of liquid B is 700 mm of mercury. Then tell me which one has high boiling point? 600 mm, 700 mm of mercury respectively, AB. So vapor pressure is less, boiling point will be more. So therefore, vapor pressure and boiling point both are inversely proportional. Next point, when a non-volatile solute, so when a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, then what happens? Vapor pressure is decreases, therefore boiling point is increases. Then let the boiling point of pure solvent is T0 B. Okay, and the boiling point of solution containing non-volatile solute is TB. Then T0 B is a boiling point of pure solvent, TB is a boiling point of solution containing non-volatile solute. Then among T0 B, TB, which is greater? Obviously TB greater than T0 B. Then therefore TB greater than T0 B, then you can take difference TB minus T0 B, which is called delta TB. So delta TB is nothing but difference between boiling point of solution containing non-volatile solute and the boiling point of pure solvent, right? So T0, that is a delta TB. This delta TB is a colligative property but not boiling point. Elevation in boiling point is a colligative property but not boiling point. So therefore, now delta TB colligative property, from experimental data it is clear that delta TB is directly proportional to small m molality. But we know that delta TB is equals to, you can write Kb into m, where Kb is equals to what? Molar elevation constant or ebullioscopic constant. Then how do you define Kb? Kb equal to delta TB by m. Then suppose if molality is equals to 1 or 1 molal, what is the meaning of 1 molal? 1 kilogram. Tell me, it is a 1 mole of solute in 1 kg solvent, right? So therefore, then how do you define Kb? Kb is nothing but the elevation in boiling point is produced. It is equals to elevation in boiling point when 1 mole of solute present in 1 kilogram of solvent. Then unit. So unit asked previously in CET. What is unit of Kb? The unit of Kb is nothing but, it is a temperature Kelvin, it is a mole per liter, mole per kilogram. Therefore, it is a Kelvin kg per mole. Here most important is, one more time question asked in CET about Kb only. Kb is a whether property of solute or property of solution or a property of solvent. It is a property of only solvent. It is depends on solvent nature but not solute and solution. Therefore, Kb is a or depends on nature of solvent. Have written this also? Okay. For example, what is the Kb of water? The Kb of water is always 0.52 Kelvin kg per mole. You have to remember this. At least water remember. 0.52 Kelvin kg per mole. Okay, so till here completed, no? Next, derivation of determination of molar mass also over. So how do you determine the molar mass of the solute? So determination of molar mass of the solute, delta Tb equal to Kb into small m, molality. But we know that molality equal to what? Weight by gram molecular weight into 1000 divided by W1 in grams. What is the W1? Weight of solvent. So therefore delta Tb is equals to Kb into this molality can be substituted here. Then you can take W2 by M2. It is actually 2 into 1000 divided by W1 in grams. So here you bring here, it comes here. So therefore M2 equal to Kb into W2 by delta Tb into 1000 divided by W1 in grams. Have you written this also? Okay, now tell me, what is the relation between molar mass of the solute and delta Tb? Molar mass or delta Tb inversely proportional to molar mass of the solute, right? So till here completed, right? I think we have not done graphical representation of elevation in Brayton. Right on. Graphical representation. Graphical representation of delta Tb. Okay, tell me, a graph is plotted between vapor pressure versus temperature. Let us take vapor pressure on y-axis. On x-axis you can take temperature. Right on. So temperature on x-axis, vapor pressure on y-axis. Can you tell me what is the relation between temperature and vapor pressure? Vapor, tell me. Directly proportional. So vapor pressure is directly proportional to temperature. But vapor pressure inversely proportional to boiling point. Don't confuse. Right? So therefore vapor pressure directly proportional to temperature. Now tell me, now we have one is a solvent, second one is solution. Among solvent and solution, solvent and one more is solution. So whose vapor pressure is more? The vapor pressure of solvent is always greater than vapor pressure of solution. Obviously, right? So therefore vapor pressure of solvent is more. That's what, if you plot the graph you will get like this. Vapor pressure is increases as the temperature is increases. It is directly proportional. And this is for what? It is for pure solvent. Okay. Next, now tell me, if I want to draw the solution, whether solution should be drawn below this or above this? Below this. Why? The vapor pressure of solution should be less than the solvent. Therefore, it comes down somewhere here. It is also increases with increasing temperature. So this is what? It is this line for solution containing non-volatile solute. Okay, now see carefully. Suppose, okay, here let us take, this is a vapor pressure, if it is 1 atmosphere here. Okay, now take the line here. Now tell me, this is what? It is 1 atm, it is a pure solvent. At 1 atmospheric pressure, pure solvent boil or not? Boil. So that boil is called what? Boiling point of pure solvent. Therefore, it is a T0B. Why it is a T0B? It is a T0B because solvent, no, pure solvent, boiling at this temperature, T0B. Next, you extend it is same 1 atmosphere pressure here. It may touch here. Now this is what? Okay, it is here solution, no? Solution also boils at this temperature, no? Therefore it is what? TB. Now we want actually difference between TB and T0B. Tell me. This difference is called what? Delta TB. Then among TB, T0B, which is greater from this graph? Yav jasti de? See, temperature increases, no? So therefore TB is greater than T0B. Okay, this is the graphical representation of elevation in boiling point. Right, next, depression in freezing point. So it is denoted by delta TF. So take this also, vapor pressure directly proportional to temperature, vapor pressure inversely proportional to boiling point, and vapor pressure is directly proportional to freezing point. Now we are going to study vapor pressure inversely directly proportional to freezing point. Okay, listen. Tell me, depression in freezing point. Let us see what is the meaning of freezing point. What is freezing point? So freezing point is, it is the temperature at which the vapor pressure of the solid is equals to vapor pressure of liquid. That means at freezing point both the vapor pressure of liquid and vapor pressure of solid are equilibrium. So that means are equal. So therefore the temperature at which vapor pressure of solid equal to vapor pressure of liquid, that particular temperature is called what? Freezing point. So at freezing point the vapor pressure of solid and vapor pressure of liquid both are equal. Or in other way, so the temperature at which both solid and liquid are in equilibrium, of course, the temperature at which both solid and liquid are in equilibrium is also called freezing point. That is also called, of course, melting point. For example, let us take water. What is the freezing point of water? 0 degrees, right? At 0 degrees Celsius, nothing but 273 Kelvin, no? 0 degrees or 273 Kelvin, both ice vapor pressure equal to liquid water vapor pressure. That means at 0 degrees Celsius the vapor pressure of ice is equals to vapor pressure of what? Liquid. Right. That means ice and vapor, ice and water, liquid water, both are at equilibrium. This can also be written ice equilibrium with liquid water. At what temperature? 0 degrees or 273 Kelvin, which is called freezing point. Therefore, here you need to remember first equation. What is the freezing point? The temperature at which the vapor pressure of solid is equals to vapor pressure of liquid. Both solid and liquid will have same vapor pressure. That particular temperature is called freezing point. Okay, fine. Next is, let us see when a non-volatile solute. When a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent. So what happens? The vapor pressure is decreases. So when a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, the vapor pressure of solution is decreases. When the vapor pressure of solution is decreases, what happens? Freezing point decreases, because freezing point is directly proportional to, tell me, vapor pressure. Yes or no? So since freezing point is directly proportional to vapor pressure, let us take this is a non-volatile, it is a solvent, volatile solvent. Okay, this volatile solvent undergo vaporization. Of course, it has vapor molecule here, it undergo condensation. Now tell me, to this volatile solvent, let us add a small amount of non-volatile solute. Come on, tell me. When a small amount of non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, then what happens? Some of the solute particle occupy the surface of the solvent. As a result, this solvent molecule escaping into vapor phase decreases. Therefore, the number of vapor molecule decreases, then vapor pressure is decreases. When the vapor pressure decreases, freezing point also decreases. So therefore, now tell me, question is this. Now let the vapor pressure of pure solvent, no, one second. Let the freezing point of pure solvent is T0 F, and freezing point of solution containing non-volatile solute is Tf. Now tell me, the vapor pressure of pure solvent is T0 F and vapor pressure of solution containing non-volatile solute is Tf. Then among T0 F, Tf, which is greater? T0 F, because the vapor pressure of pure solvent is more when compared to solution containing non-volatile solute. See here, it is a reverse of elevation boiling point. Notice what happened here. When a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, boiling point is increases. That's what it is called elevation boiling point. We do not say that depression boiling point. Boiling point kadime agalla, boiling point ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. That is, it is elevation boiling point. Similarly, when a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, it is freezing point is decreases. That's what it is called depression freezing point. We do not say that elevation freezing point. That is wrong. Depression freezing point is always decreases. So that's what, when freezing point is decreases, the freezing point of pure solvent T0 F is always greater than Tf. Then since T0 F is more, Tf is less, then you can take difference between these two. Difference between T0 F, Tf is called what? Delta Tf, which is equals to T0 F minus Tf. Then where, what is the delta Tf? It is a depression in freezing point. Then what is the definition of depression in freezing point? It is a difference between freezing point of pure solvent and freezing point of solution containing non-volatile solute is called depression in freezing point. Next, from the experimental data, it is clear that delta Tf is also directly proportional to molality, not molarity, small m, molality. Then you can equalize delta Tf with this m, then multiply with the constant, that is Kf into m. Therefore, delta Tf is equals to Kf into m. Where, what is the Kf? It is a molar depression constant, or it is also called cryoscopic constant. Cryoscopic constant. And small m equal to what? It is a molality. Then how do you define that is Kf? Tell me, what is Kf? From this equation we want to Kf. So Kf equal to delta Tf by m, molality, right? Then suppose if molality is equals to 1, what is the meaning of 1? Molality 1 molal, it means 1 mole per 1 kg solvent. Okay, so therefore now definition of Kf. How do you define Kf? So Kf is nothing but, it is a depression in freezing point, no? Kf is equals to depression in freezing point. The depression in freezing point is produced when 1 mole of solute present in 1 kilogram of solvent. So what is the Kb? What you have studied Kb? The elevation in boiling point produced. The elevation in boiling point produce 1 mole of solute present in 1 kilogram of solvent. Here is also here also same, but here difference is the depression in freezing point is produced when 1 mole of solute present in 1 kilogram of solvent. Therefore, next is what is the unit? So unit of Kf. Tell me. So it is delta Tf. This is a Kelvin. It is a mole per kg. Therefore, it is a Kelvin kg per mole. That means both delta Tb and both Kb and Kf will have same units. Okay, next is similar to Kb, Kf also depends on only nature of solvent, but not solute and solution. Nature of solvent. So that means different solvent will have different Kf value, and you need to remember the Kf value of water. You must remember it is a 1.86 Kelvin kg per mole. Okay. Next is determination of molar mass of solute. Come on, tell me. Determination of molar mass. Solute. We know that the importance of colligative property is what? To calculate the molar mass of solute only. We can calculate or we can determine the accurate molar mass of the solute by using colligative properties. So therefore, delta Tb is equals to, delta Tf is equals to Kf into m, and delta Tf is equals to Kf, m equal to what? W2 by m2 into 1000 divided by W1 grams, but actually we want m2. Tell me, m2 equal to Kf into W2 into 1000 divided by delta Tf into W1 in grams. Okay. Now from this relation it is clear that molar mass of the solute is inversely proportional to delta Tf. Delta Tf is inversely proportional to molar mass of the solute. Okay. So not only delta Tf, all colligative properties are inversely proportional to molar mass of the solute. Okay. Right. Take till here. Okay. Taken. Delta Tf is direct inversely proportional to molar mass, and delta Tf can be determined experimentally by Rost method. Have written delta Tb? No. RLVP written? No. RLVP, delta Tb, delta Tf, and later we will study osmotic pressure. So all these methods can be experimentally, all this can be calculated by experimentally. Tell me, RLVP can experimentally calculated by Ostwald? Written? No. Okay. Ostwald Walker method, and delta Tb, this is a Cottrell method, and delta Tf, Rost method, and osmotic pressure, it is Hartley and Berkeley method. Hartley Berkeley method. Okay. Now tell me, graphical representation of delta Tf. A graph is plotted between vapor pressure and temperature, same like elevation boiling point. It is vapor pressure, temperature taken on x axis. Tell me. So what is the relation between temperature and vapor pressure? Vapor pressure is directly proportional to temperature, right? As the vapor pressure increases, temperature is increases. Now let us take, we have solution and solvent. Okay, let us take it is solvent and solution. Among solvent and solution, whose vapor pressure is more? Solvent. The vapor pressure of solvent is more. That's what. Let us draw the solvent here. I'll take solvent here. Okay, this is a solid solvent. Okay, now for example, let us say at this temperature it boil or melt. So not boil, it melt or freeze. It means you will get like this. This is a liquid solvent. Can you tell me what this point? This point is T naught F, no? Why T naught F? It is a solid, no? Solid, as the temperature increases, it is a solid. Solid can change to liquid. So at this point, solid can convert into liquid. When the solid can convert into liquid, it is called what? Melting point or freezing point, because liquid also convert into solid. Melting point, freezing point, both are same. Fine. It is pure solvent, it is also pure solvent. But now question is, let us take when a non-volatile solute is added to this solvent, what happen? It is solid. Okay, take it is a solid only. So when a non-volatile solute is added, so what happen? Its vapor pressure is decreases now. Means the pure solid here, when solute is added somewhere here, its vapor pressure suddenly decreases now. Decreases like this. Decreases, but heating again increases like this. It means at this point, solid and liquid both are equilibrium. This is called what? Freezing point of, tell me, solution. Freezing point of solution here, freezing point of solvent. So among T naught F, TF, which is greater? T naught F is greater than TF. Okay, then the difference between these two nothing but delta TF. Take. Clear? Understand? No? Next, right, the relation between delta TF and relation between delta TF and delta TB. Take down. Tell me, let us see the relation between delta TB and delta TF. Now for example, here let us take a non-volatile solute. A non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent. So what happened its boiling point, what happened freezing point? When a non-volatile solute is added to pure volatile solvent, its boiling point is boiling point क्या होता है? Boiling point is increases, freezing point is decreases. Now we want the relation between increasing boiling point and decreasing freezing point. Therefore here can we write, take down, delta TB is equals to KB into M. Okay, equation 1. Next, delta TF is equals to KF into M, equation 2. Right? So divide the equation 1 with equation 2. What do you get? Delta TB by delta TF equal to KB by KF, because M get cancelled. Okay, so there was question previously appeared in NEET based on this. Question is, listen carefully, question is this: they'll give the freezing point of solution. By giving freezing point of solution, they expect a boiling point of solution, or by giving boiling point of solution, they may expect freezing point of solution, and here KB, KF value will be given, or if they do not give for water, you should remember. Okay, write on question. The boiling point of solution containing aqueous solution, right? The boiling point of aqueous solution containing non-volatile solute is 102.5 degrees Celsius. 102.5 degrees Celsius. Calculate the freezing point of solution. Calculate the freezing point. So boiling point is given, they expecting freezing point. It is very simple. So boiling point is given 102.5 degrees Celsius. So question mark is freezing point. Then tell me, if the boiling point is given, can you calculate delta TB? Yes or no? Yes, first calculate delta TB. Delta TB is equals to TB minus T naught B. Then delta TB equal to TB. What is the TB? 102.5 minus T naught B. So T naught B need not to give, because the boiling point of pure water is always 100. It is aqueous solution, no? They mentioned that aqueous solution. How do you get aqueous solution? By adding water. Therefore, the boiling point of pure water will be 100 degrees Celsius. This is understood. Therefore, delta TB is equals to, tell me, 2.5 degrees Celsius. Next, now we need to calculate delta TF. Okay, TF has to be calculated. Next, what about KB, KF? So as we discussed, KB equal to 0.52 Kelvin kg per mole, you have to remember, and KF equal to, it is 1.86 for water, Kelvin kg per mole. These values you have to remember. Right? Now substitute in this equation. Delta TB 2.5 divided by delta TF equal to, what is the KB? 0.52, KF is 1.86, then delta TF is equals to, tell me, 2.5 into 1.86 divided by 0.52. What is the answer? 8.75 degree Celsius. So therefore it is a delta TF, but question is not delta TF. What question? Calculate the freezing point of water. No, sorry, freezing point of solution. Then how do you calculate freezing point of solution? Delta TF is equals to T naught F, we know it, minus TF. Then what is the T naught F of water? 0 degrees Celsius. Right? Hodalva. Then delta TF equal to 8.75, which is equals to 0 minus TF. Then TF equal to minus 8.75 degrees Celsius. finish. And moreover, remember, if you know the delta TF, you write it, you make it minus, it become delta, it become TF. Since water freezing point is 0. Understand? So therefore, this is one good question. By giving boiling point, they expect freezing point. By giving freezing point, they expect boiling point. We can calculate vice versa. Even if they give the freezing point, the same process you can calculate boiling point. Okay. Next. Okay. Next, tell me, what is the relation between particle concentration and delta TF? So delta TF is directly proportional to particle concentration, and delta TB also written, no? TB also directly proportional to, take down, particle concentration. But what about freezing point? Inversely proportional to particle concentration. Okay. Next, calculation of KB and KF. So how do you calculate KB and KF? To calculate KB and KF, we have again experimental data. We have simple formula also, you can calculate easily. Tell me. So actually KB, KF are what? They are constant. KB is a what constant? It is a molar elevation constant. It is a molar depression constant. Molar elevation constant also called ebullioscopic constant. So this is also called cryoscopic constant. That means both are constant. These are the constant. They depends on only nature of solvent. They does not depends on the mass of solute, mass of solvent, or nature of the solute also. They depends on only nature of solvent. It means different solvents having different KF and KB values. Then how do you calculate KB and KF? So KB is equals to, it is a R T naught B square by 1000 into LV. This is the formula to calculate KB, where R equal to, you know it, universal gas constant. So what is the R value? R equal to 8.314 joules per mole per Kelvin, or in liter. So 0.0831832 I think. So 0.0832 liter atmosphere per mole per Kelvin. Okay. Next, what about T naught B? T naught B is boiling point of pure water, no? Boiling point of pure water or pure solvent. And LV, LV is important. It is a latent heat of, yes, heat of vaporization. So latent heat of vaporization will be different for different solvent, no? Since LV is different, KB will be different. KB of water different, KB of benzene different. Similarly, LV of water different, LV of benzene also different. Okay. So latent heat of vaporization, it is a per gram of solvent. Per gram of solvent. But LV is also equal to, you can write delta H V or delta H L divided by, it is a molar mass of the solvent. So therefore here delta HL, it is also latent heat of vaporization per mole of solvent. Per mole, because delta H, wherever delta H comes per mole, no, enthalpy per mole, it is a per mole. Therefore, LV equal to delta HL by M1, where M1 is equals to molar mass of solvent. So therefore, now substitute this in this equation. What is the Kb? Kb equal to, you can get M1 here, R T naught B square by 1000 into delta HL. It means if the latent heat of vaporization given per gram, you take this formula. If the latent heat of vaporization given per mole, take this formula. Okay. So difference is only latent heat of vaporization per gram per mole. Okay. Similarly, you can also write Kf value. How to calculate Kf? What is the Kf? Kf is equals to, you see this formula, R T naught B square, no. In place of T naught B square, what we should write? R T naught F square. That's it. Then 1000 into LV. What is V equal to what? LV equal to latent heat of vaporization. But actually this is vaporization. Here is what? Fusion. Right? So fusion. Therefore, what we write here? 1000 into LF. So all the terms are same except LF, where LF equal to latent heat of fusion. Okay. Next, this is latent heat of fusion per gram solvent, per gram of solvent. Okay. Similarly, then LF also related to delta HF. Let us take LF is equals to delta HF by molar mass of the solvent. So therefore, substitute here. Again you will get similar formula. Kf is equals to R M1 R T naught F square divided by 1000 into, in place of LF you can write delta HF. So all the terms are same, only delta HF is, it is also latent heat of vaporization per what? Per mole of solvent. Oh sorry, latent heat of fusion per mole of solvent. Okay. And moreover, the relation between delta TB, delta TF already done, no? Delta TB by delta F equal to KB by KF. Okay. We shall do some model problems in next class.